welcome back to my channel. My name is Chunijah, and today I'm showing you guys all the books I've read September and August. This is my little wrap up, and let's just get on with this. Let's not make it long. I actually already filmed this like a couple days ago, and it was just too long and unnecessary, so I'm gonna try and like do rapid fire because it's just so many books and I spent way too long. Also, I'm just gonna combine them. Honestly, I'm just gonna do my physical books first, and then I'm gonna go to the books I read on Kindle, and then that's how we're just gonna do it. So first up, Catch the Sun by Jennifer Hartman. I absolutely love this book so much. I'm gonna give this book a 4-star. I absolutely love this one. Definitely check out the trigger warnings if you're trying to read this. It basically follows Ella, the aftermath of her brother being on death row, is it? After doing a murder, and she was just doing like the fallout, so she has to go back into the hometown that she was coming from. This is like a childhood best friends to lovers, but like not really childhood. So I want to say like what is it? But like they knew each other as kids. She had to move away. She came back. So I don't want to say it's childhood, but like friends to lovers. It's so good. It's slow burn. It's a chunker. It's long. If you like emotional reads, I definitely think Jennifer Hartman is the way to go. I love her books so much, and yeah, it's just so good. I love this one. So like I said, check out the trigger warnings because it definitely tackles a difficult issue. I kind of was like anticipating once I figured that out. I was like, okay, it's coming soon, and it was crazy. Love this one. Max. Poor Max. Oh, I just love this one. And yeah, 4 stars. Next is Everything We Never Said by Sloane Harlow. I am so happy I picked up this book and finally read it. It was so fast paced. I literally read this in a day. I remember just reading it and just could not put it down. I was like, this is going to be like my book to go to sleep. And like, I just ended up never going to sleep and stayed up to read this book. I absolutely love this one. Also, check out the trigger warnings. If you love It Ends With Us, read this one. That's all I'm going to tell you. This one follows Ella and Haley, and Haley passed away with Ella in a car accident, and she kind of doesn't remember the accident, so she kind of is going up through the aftermath, and she kind of figures out that she might like Haley's boyfriend Sawyer. So it's kind of like she's in love with her dead ex best friend's boyfriend. And that's what hooked me. And also she reads now Haley's diary, and it kind of talks about some secrets of her and Sawyer's relationships. And let's just say it's a little shocking, and it's really good. It's really good. It keeps you on your toes. So like I said, I think it gives 4 stars or 4.5. I can't really remember, but I think 4 stars is the good rating for this one. And I love this one. Read. Then I also read This Summer Will Be Different by Carly Fortune. I absolutely love this one. I only read Every Summer After by her beforehand, so going into this one, I love this one. I gave this book a 4.5 stars. I read this one like in a day and a half. Like, it was just so fast paced and it was gripping. I don't really read physical books anymore, but like this one, just like I could not put it down. I could not stop thinking about this book. It was amazing. But this one is like a past and present timeline. It's with, what's her name, Lucy, and Felix is Felix is her best friend's brother, and it's kind of like an age gap. I think he's like 1 or 2 years younger than Lucy, which we don't really read a lot, the girl being a little older. And yeah, it's basically best friend's brother trope. Yeah, and the friend doesn't like friends being with her brother because she had a bad experience in the past, so it's kind of like forbidden, but they kind of have like a little thing going over the years, and she kind of has to go to PEI because her best friend made her, and she's wondering like the whole time figuring out why she's in PEI, and the best friend would not tell her to the very end. So that was kind of annoying, but other than that, the romance was really great in it. I love like the scenery that she painted in this, and it was just great vibes all the way around. So like I said, 4.5 stars. Absolutely love this book. You move on to Same Time Next Summer by Annabelle Monaghan. This is my first book by her, and I absolutely loved it so much. This is also past and present timeline. I make both a reading vlog on this one and Every Summer After. Wait, no. I make a summer vlog between this book and This Summer Will Be Different by Carly Fortune. It's up on my channel if you guys want to read reading summer books before summer ends. And I also rate this, I think, either 5-star or 4.75. It was definitely either one of those. I absolutely love this book. I read this one in a day. It was so fast paced. It's literally 280-something pages. And why is romance is longer than that? If she was able to give me a past timeline, also for me to believe this childhood best friend's love and why I should choose her with this one instead of the other one, why is books 300 pages and up? You know, it was so good. The way that she writes is amazing. I have to get back into her books ASAP, but I loved it. I love the story. This one is with Sam. Her life's on track, and she has to come back to her beach house with her family, and she brings her fiance Jack, but then her first love Wyatt is there. kind of like a triangle, but kind of not, and it's just so good. It's so good. She basically finds herself and finds what she wants in life, and I absolutely love it, and it's so good. But next up is Ready or Not by Cara Boston. Yeah, I love this one. It was honestly kind of a little slow, but it's best friend's brother as well trope. I actually really like this one, and it has like really cute little blurs of Abby Jimenez and Annabelle Monaghan on the back as well, so that makes sense. I love this one. I think it's one of 4.25 stars. I don't really remember, but I really like this one. This one is a surprise pregnancy leads to even more life-changing revelations in the heartfelt slow burn friends to lover romance. Absolutely love this. It's a little triangle as well going on. Eve basically starts having feelings for her best friend's brother, but she also has a little bit of feelings of the baby daddy, but it's kind of like some drama going there. It's really great. She's basically just, like, I love books that's like with pregnancy, that you're really focusing on the pregnancy and like how to prepare for it, and it's not just the two people, like the romance, and then it just jumps to the kid. I love this one. I had a great time. The setting of this was like, I think, in New York City. Great vibes all the way around. Also, the best friend here, Willa, I think her name was, she was not a really good friend. You know, I get that she was going through her own struggles, but like, come on out, you know. But I really like this one. The last physical book is Out on a Limb by Hannah Bonner Young. I'm so happy I finally read it. I think it's either 3.5 stars or 3.75. Either around those two. It wasn't the best. Y'all really hyped this up. I did like it. I love the epilogue. I really love the epilogue. It stands out to me so much. I don't know. It was very slow burn. If you like a slow burn, Out on a Limb. I don't know. Also, I don't know how to feel about it. I just really didn't feel the connection of them until like the very end, and I was like, okay, and then it just wrapped up, and that was then. And the epilogue was amazing. I absolutely loved it. They are kids. I just love epilogues like that. It's just amazing. I don't know. I just, you know, they didn't really stand out to me. It wasn't the best. I love the best friend. I don't know. Other than that, it just didn't hit for me, and that's fine. But it was still a good book. I like the writing and I like the story, so 3.75 or 3.5. I forgot which one I rated it, but that's where we ended off on Out on a Limb. I also have a reading vlog of reading surprise pregnancy tropes between this book and Ready or Not, if you guys want to check out my channel. But yeah. Okay, now we're going to be going on Goodreads, and we're going to be going through all the books that I read on Kindle. In August, I was reading Zodiac Academy like the end of July going into August, and I was reading them back to back, okay? And I first started off with Shadow Princess. This is book 4 of Shadow Zodiac Academy. I ate it up. I'm going to save my ratings because honestly, I'm going to do like a whole reread because I had to put a pause on it. And like, that series is just amazing. 5 stars all the way around. I also read Cursed Fate. 5 stars all the way around. I just love the series so much, and it's just so good. But Cursed Fate, it honestly was like so much. I think this is like the biggest book so far of the series, and it felt a lot. Like at the end, I was like, oh my gosh, it was like this big climax and like huge fighting scene, and it just felt so much chaotic. At this point in time, we were having every single POV. Like the grandma was having a POV, like this random person was having a POV. It was just too many POVs, and I don't like having a lot of different POVs because if I don't want this POV, I don't want it. I loved in the beginning where it was just Darcy and Tori. We're just having those two POVs, and I already, from the first book, I already knew I loved Tori's POV. I already felt that in the very beginning. I love Tori's POV. And then we got into Darcy's, and I was okay, as soon as Darcy's done, I'm gonna go into Tori's. And then I just had that rhythm, okay? I always love Tori's. And then all of a sudden we get Orion's, and then we got Dante's, and then we get Seth, and then we get Max. We get all these different POVs, and I'm just like, I want Tori's POV. Literally, if the whole thing was in Tori's POV, I'll be happy. I just love her as a character. She's one of my favorite characters of all time. And so, yeah. And that one, during the climax especially, it was just like too many different POVs were going on. So much was going on. Like, we'll be outside of the house, and then we'll be inside, and it's like, no, like as soon as it gets good, then we're coming to the inside, and it's like, no, and as soon as it gets good, and it was too much at the end. I didn't like it, and it left on a huge cliffhanger. But the reason I stopped is because I saw a TikTok, and it was saying how, like, with this series, you have to read Ruthless Boys, and I did not read the series in order. So with Zodiac Academy, it's recommended reading order where you read Zodiac Academy books 1 through 3, and then you go into Ruthless Boys, read that entire series, like a 5-book series, and then you go back into Zodiac Academy, you read it all the way through. And with the Ruthless Boys, it's like a prequel series to the Zodiac Academy, and it starts 5 years in the past, and it's just because characters that get introduced into Zodiac Academy 4 and up, those are their stories. You also find out spoilers into those stories. And I was like, oh dang it, you know. And so I was like, oh, I gotta read it. So I did read book 1. I really liked it. It was a strong one. That one is, what is it, Ruthless Boys? Dark Fae, that's what it's called. Dark Fae, that's the Ruthless Boys book 1, and I rated that like a strong 4. It was like a murder mystery, which basically follows Elsie and her. It starts off with Elsie. She's trying to find out who killed her brother. That's basically the premise of the story. Is she just know that the king killed her brother, so now she's going to one of this lower academy that's in Soloria, and she goes there. The 4 kings that rules the school, and she's trying to figure out at least one of them killed her brother. And so let me see what you're figuring out in the whole story. Also, you get all their POVs. So it's 5 different POVs that you get in the story, which is like, what? It's past time out. Also, you get the brother's POV, and I'm just like, what is going on, you know? And it's kind of like a why choose. I think that's the trope where it's like it's so many different options of who she can be with. So yeah, but then it kind of like alludes to like she's supposed to be with this one person very on in the first book, which is crazy how it starts with the first book. And so I'm trying to be delusional, even though I read book 5 is there the academy, like, oh, this person does not end up with this person. I'm trying to be delusional, so do not spoil it, because I'm trying to still read, you know, Ruthless Boys to see if we get a twist, you know what I mean? But I'm excited for that. Next up, I read Vicious, Sinners of Fate. This is book 1. I don't really remember too much about this one. I don't know what I told you guys I rated it, but I'll give it like a 3. It wasn't bad at all. I just, like, I feel like I'm not going to remember next year that I read this book, and that's fine. It was good enough for me to finish it. I just don't like it. It's like a bully romance, and it's just like, he literally calls her the help. Yeah, no, babes. And it just doesn't really stick out to me. I don't think I'm going to finish a series. It's like a dark romance. If maybe like it's a palate cleanser, I'll keep reading the other books, but I'm not really that interested in reading them. Like I was reading who the rest is about, and just like, I'm good. I can go my whole life without reading it. But if you guys want to try it out, I mean, I give it a 3 stars. It was good enough to read and finish. So then I read Hue of Blue. I love this book so much. I'm going to give this book like a strong 4. It was really, really good, fast paced. I related too heavily to Blue. It was crazy. This book is basically about Blue. She just wants to be loved, and she wants to love someone, and then I forgot the guy's name, but he just wants somebody to love him. He's very insecure and not secure in himself, and it just really sucks. And I feel like they were just wrong timing, and like he had a lot of workout, she had a lot of workout, but like not even that. And it's like an age gap, like she's older, more mature, but then it also figures out why she's kind of acting immature. She has like a reason, he doesn't. He's just insecure, and it's just, I don't know. And it's not like, I don't think it's like a relationship to really view and like to ship for, and it's like a really hard read. I don't really know. I think read it, definitely check out the trigger warnings, because it is intense. It's not really that intense, but it's like it hits you. So definitely check it out. But I really loved it. I just saw it blowing up on TikTok, and I was like, let me read, and it was crazy. So I absolutely love the book. 4 stars. I read it so fast. It was so fast paced, and just reading them, it's like the drama. You're like, what's gonna happen next? That type of beat, you know. If you like Tell Me Lies, the show, you'll love this. You'll eat it up. And then I read Corrupt. This is Devil's Night, book 1. I'll rate this one, I think 4 star. I don't know what I think 3.75 or 4 star. I don't know if I rated it, but it's between those two. And this one, I just needed a palate cleanser. That's what I usually read dark romance as, palate cleansers. And this one, somebody recommended it to me too, and I was like, okay, let me just read it for y'all. And yeah, I read it, and I don't know, like I said, 3.75 or 4 star. I don't know why it's a 5-book series or a 4-book series, because I was like, it literally wraps by the end, and everybody's like, you need to keep on reading, it gets good and good. I'm gonna try, definitely space it out, because like next is Kai book, and I'm not that interested in reading about Kai. Like I really like Will, but Will book is the last book. Now like I have to read Kai's and Damon's to get to Will. And I was reading the synopsis of like each one, and I think like I kind of spoiled it for myself and Will's synopsis. So I'm gonna have to take a bit until I read the series, so that way I'm not like spoiled in my own head. But I definitely want to get to his series, because I mean the first one was okay, but like I want to get to the rest. So that's the plan. Then I started reading Remember Us This Way. 5 stars. 5 stars. Okay, this literally reminds me of 1,000 White Kisses, and if you ever read it, that's all you need to know. It is like, it's not copy and paste, but it's kind of like they're like, what is it, step siblings or like cousins. They're cousins, and it's just so good. It's so good. Noah, childhood best friends to lovers, is going to do it every single time, and that's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. Like, oh my, and the best friend in here was absolutely horrible. I forgot her name, something with a T, and I absolutely hate her. Like, she was just like the worst person ever, and thank God Noah was in the story, and like the author gave him his chance to speak, because he was saying everything that I wanted to say, but he didn't say it a lot, but he said it, and it was just crazy. Like, her best friend was horrible in this, and I just hated it. You knew she had a crush on him, and you still like, it boiled my skin down. It boiled my skin. It boiled my skin. And it was just something like I knew it. I knew what was going to happen, and I still bawled my eyes out at 5 a.m. Like, I still bawled my eyes out in the end, and it was just crazy. Yeah, and it felt like this book was like 2 books. Like, it felt like the first half, and then like, we had a shift. I think it was very long too. It was like a 500 something page book, or 600 pages, and it just felt so long. It felt like 2 books combined into one. I don't know how she did it, but I ate this up, and it's just like, I just knew what was gonna happen, and I still cried. And it's just, I still cried. Anyways, let's move on. Then I read Fake It Till You Break It by Megan Brandy. I absolutely... Y'all, I just needed this, and I needed this. Okay, after reading like Horrible Best Friends back to back to back to back, I read this one, and it was just great. It was 4 girlfriends that were just like, just love each other, and was just like having a ball, and they were rich, and they were cute, and like they were fun in high school, and I was just like, I love that. And this was basically like, I forgot the first girl name, the main character, I forgot her name, but she had this crush on Alex. Tell me why I know the guy's names, but I don't know the girl. Anyways, she had a crush on Alex for the longest time, and he just never really noticed her, and so Nico is now her lap partner, and he's like, it's so obvious that you like him, and so he basically struck a deal with her, like, let's pretend that we're dating, because he only likes people who are not available. And so as soon as they start dating, obviously Alex starts paying attention. If you like Better Than the Movies, you'll like this one. It's kind of like a raunchier version, like, you know, like teen romance, like it has like, you know, the alcohol, the parties, all that. But if you like Better Than the Movies, it's kind of like that. It's so good. It's fake dating. You already know how that story goes. A little bit of triangle, because now Alex may be in the picture. She might have feelings for Nico. It's so good. It's so good. Read it. And since I was like loving Meg, and I knew I love Megan Brandy, so I was like, you know what, let me read more of her, because I read so much of her books. I read already the Brayshaw High series, I read Fumble Feature series, what does it say, Swear? So I was like, I need to read more, so I read The Deal's Dilemma. This one was kind of like a little disappointment. It was very spicy. It's I don't think it's maybe her most spiciest book I've read, and I don't know, I don't know, and I should have known that, because it's basically she made a deal with like, let me lose my virginity. And I don't know, it just didn't really hit for me. It was like a 3-star. Like, I think it was just way longer than it needed to be. Definitely had the ending to like a twist, and I was like, what's going on at this point? But I definitely want her to make a series with like the brothers. I think Xavier, what's his name, Julius, and Crew, or is it Drew? Them 3 deserve their own books. Like, I really like their personalities. I think it would be a really good one with what's his name, Xavier. He has a thing for his best friend Nova, which is the sister, and I think like that could be a cool thing, like it's a random best friend, like best friend sister, best friend brother, something like that. And I think that'd be really fun. I just love the whole dynamic of like the whole group of world that she created, so maybe she'll try and go into that. I don't know what Megan Brandy's doing, but I think that would be a cool little series that she can start up. After following that, I started Love Letter to Whiskey. I finally started it, and I actually did read the 5th year. Is it the 5th year? 5th anniversary? Y'all, when I tell you guys, I have so much highlighted. Oh my gosh, I love this book, Love Letter to Whiskey. It was so good. I'm gonna give it like a 4.5 stars. You guys, I can't understand why people didn't like it. At certain points, I was like, okay, yeah, I get it. Like, you literally can be with him, like, these 3 years, you know. And then also the addition, I thought that we could have gotten, like, the time that we weren't with the, like, I'm like stuttering. His thing, it was kind of like I'm rereading the same book. I get if you haven't like read it in like 5 years and you just read his edition. Sure, if like a whole brand new book that you just literally got and like, but his POV. But if you just finished the book and then you read his POV, it's kind of like reading the exact same thing that you just read, but from his POV, you know. And it was just like, oh man, like, you know, it wasn't like what was I anticipating, but I definitely liked his story at the end better, like his ending. I feel like I was so excited to see Angel. I feel like Angel was like 2 pages, and then we just skipped over. You could have dragged that out longer, you know. Like, I feel like we could have gotten more from that. I don't know. I think she was focusing on other things than she should have. Like, I think she exactly was doing like copy and paste, like the exact same scene, but like from his POV, and certain things that we could have got more new information, we didn't. And I feel like if I didn't have read his POV, I would have probably given it like a 3 or 3.5 star rating, because her ending was so abrupt and so like, who's the wife, you know? It was kind of like alluding to like it could have been somebody else, you know? And it felt like that whole story was such like a, you were just on a roller coaster the entire way. You was feeling so much big feelings, and then for that just have like a such like a not that big of an impact ending, it really sucked. So yeah, but I'm happy I did keep on reading because I liked his ending a lot better. Okay, started Trial of the Sun Queen. This is the Artifacts of Arinos. I think that's how you pronounce the series. Book 1. I really like this one. This one's very strong. I give it a 3.5 star rating. I really like this one. Is basically what it says. It's 10 people that this is 10 girls that are competing to become the Sun Queen. That's basically the premise of it. And what I liked about it, I don't know. It felt like just 10 people competing. It was this girl. She was from the prison. She just woke up and she somehow is in these trials. If you like Tori and Zodiac Academy, you will really like Lore, that's her name, in this series. Like, oh my gosh, she reminded me so much of Tori, and for me not to be reading Zodiac Academy, this is like a great like refreshener of her, and I absolutely loved it. It was very funny, and yeah, I really liked it. So 3.5 stars. And then going from that, I read book 2, and it's called Rule the Aurora King. I really like this one. This one I gave like 4 stars, and this one was like, I didn't even trust like the main girl, Lore. Like, are you kidding me? Like, she literally was like a whole other person. The secrets were coming out, people, and I was like, oh my gosh, this whole time you knew this, you knew that. Like, y'all, okay, you have to keep on reading, because I feel like book 1 doesn't really like, it's like I feel like the series is better and better. Like, each book gets better and better, and I feel like the first one like really is like a completely different book if you really look at it compared to the other two. It's like, you know, like, I don't know, I feel like the first one is like very like, I think it was a great opener, but it's like not the whole vibe of the whole rest. And I feel like you have to keep on reading because like it's good. Like, it is like really like, I think for fantasy readers, and I'm gonna get into it more in a second, but book 2, we had one of the other POV. We had 2 different other POV, so it's 3 in total. We had the grandmother's POV, and I love that it was past timeline, and I ate it up. It was so good. And then we had the other POV that I'm not going to say, that's the love interest, and I was just eating it up. It was so good. And then, like I said, I didn't give it 4 stars. And then the third book I went into, Fate of the Sun King, and this is book 3. I absolutely love this one. This was the best one yet. It was 4.5 stars. And this one I'm saying, I think if you love fantasy, this one, as I was reading, I was like, oh my gosh, like so much things are clicking, so much stuff was getting uncovered, and I just felt like so stupid at the end. I was like, I have to reread this entire thing. Like, I literally have to reread this entire thing because I was so dumb this whole time. Nothing clicked for who Zara was until like the very end. To the very end of book 3, and I was like, oh my gosh, I have to reread it because like now like I'm like, I thought I knew, but I didn't. And I also thought book 4 was out, and that's why I was binging the books, but it's not. It's coming out this November. End of November, like 26. So I think I'm just gonna wait until closer to when it comes out, and then I'm gonna reread the entire series because like I feel so dumb. And I feel like with fantasy readers, I feel like you appreciate it because like I feel like she knew what she was doing from the very beginning until the end. Like, it was just, everything was clicking in place, and it just felt so good and satisfying. So I think she did a really amazing job, and I cannot wait. I have to read more books by her because she did such a great job, and I absolutely loved it. Third book was the best out of the series. Like, it was so good. Every single book get better and better. I love everything about it. And this one also had so many different POVs. I didn't mind it, but I was definitely very confused with all the different names and all that. But I'm excited for book 4 to see how she really wraps it up and how everything makes sense at the end and like what all happens. Because at the end of the third book is crazy. Okay, it's crazy. And then I read The Predator. This is book 1 of the Dark Verse series by Runex. I really like this one. Also, I'm going to put this in with, what is it, the second book, The Reaper. I read both of these, and let's just say the first book I gave it like a 3.5 star, I would say, and then the second book I'll give like a 4 star. So overall I think both of them would be like a 4. Yeah, 4.25. It's Enemies to Lovers, dark romance, mafia. I really liked it. It was pretty strong. I just think, like, I don't know, they just did not talk to each other that much. I think book 2 is definitely better with like them romance wise. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I liked it, but it was like number 1 of my favorites, and that's just that. Sorry, not sorry. I don't know, but I definitely can see why you guys like them, because definitely at the end I was, oh my, because I was saying it while I was reading, I was like, okay, now I'm starting to really like them, like towards like 70-something% mark. Like, I'm like, oh my gosh. But then now their book is about to end. You're telling me I had 2 books basically by them, and like 70% of the second book is when I started really liking them. Like, you know what I mean? So it's kind of like, man, you know, that's basically where I'm at right now, and that is the end of this video. Let me know what you guys read and what you guys' favorite book was of the month, or September and August. This is all the books that I read. Let me know what was your favorite book that you read from each month, what you're looking forward to into reading, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.